Hi guys, letsattempt here. Thanks for tuning into this video. What you're looking at here is a bit of a reinvention of an old video that I had up on how to capture HDCP content, encode it, and then upload it to YouTube in HD. Now, you guys as end viewers, you like to have access to nice, crisp, digital HD content at the click of a button. Now, let's face it, that's the way society is today. And for social guys like myself and other Let's Play community members, they're always looking for ways to get this content out quickly and with a minimum of effort, but still have effective videos up. What I want to do is share with you guys my methods on how to do it, and this is a really refined and quick way of doing it. But before we get to that, we do need to look at some specs. So I want to talk to you about hardware first up. I'm running an Intel i7 3.4 GHz processor PC, 16 GB RAM, Windows 7 64-bit, a 2 TB Western Digital hard disk drive. As a display device, I have the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 570, and as a capture device, I have the AVerMedia C127 Extreme PCIe HD capture device. Now that is a mouthful, but you can see a picture of it up there on the screen. Now, while I've been talking, you can see in the background some of the successful capturing of HDCP content. It's been rendered and it's been produced, and this is currently on my channel, all in HD. So what you're looking at here is basically the end result of the methods that we're going through right now. What I'm going to do is flick over to Camtasia just to show you some of my NVIDIA settings, and I'll tell you why when we get there. So here we are over in Camtasia, and the reason why I'm here right now is just to give you guys a bit of a look at my NVIDIA control panel. Now, you don't necessarily need to have the exact same graphic card as what I just read out to you, but what you do need to do before you go running out and buying any potential capture devices is just to make sure that your video card has the capability of viewing HDCP. Now with my NVIDIA control panel I can do that quite easily just by clicking on here. So it's telling me here high bandwidth digital content protection is designed to protect HD content. We know the PlayStation has implemented that on the PlayStation 3. Now what this is telling me here is that my display device supports HDCP. So it's basically saying, hey, you can view HDCP content using your video card, and that's the news we want. So what I'm going to do now is flick back over, and I'm going to talk to you about some software specs. Okay, so basically we've taken a look at our hardware, so we've got all that sorted out, which is great. What you're looking at here is RE Central. This comes to us by way of AVerMedia. Now, this software is free. You can actually go and download it from the AVerMedia website, or you can just Google in RE Central. Now, it's important for me to mention that you need to have the correct version of this software, otherwise it will not be able to view and subsequently record any of your HDCP content. So you can see over here we've got version 1.1.0.21 just right here. So any versions later than that or more recent than that, you may run into some trouble. I know I personally did, just based on some of the research that I'd done. So definitely check that out. So you can edit some settings here and tinker around a little bit. I'll just give you a quick snapshot and preview on how to use this. So I always like to use Pro because you have a little bit more control over what you're doing. So we are connecting our PS3 using HDMI, so we want the maximum quality coming through our video. I've also set up the PS3 to play its audio through HDMI, so you can actually capture that at the same time as well, because you don't really want to have silent videos when you're looking to upload them to YouTube eventually. Next up, we want to record our external audio. So if you've got a headset or a microphone, you can actually select the appropriate jack just down here. On the right hand side, just for you people that are really up to speed with your video encoding, it does record in H.264. And as you can see there, we got 1920 by 1080. So we're recording at 1080p right now. which is really good. Next up we have just our hotkeys. So I'm using F7. So basically down here, if you've ticked to record your external audio, if you hit F7, not only will your video capture begin, your audio capture will begin as well, giving you perfect sync once you've completed your recording session. Just so you know, you will end up with two files. You'll have an MP4 file recorded in H.264, and that'll come at you at 1080p. And secondly, you'll have an MP3 file, and I love the way how it's separated, because that way if your audio is not great, you can fiddle around with that and make sure it's at the right level, because sometimes your audio may be too loud or too quiet and you need to adjust that in your video editing program. So speaking of video editing programs, we're going to move into the one I use just in a moment. Just a quick side note before we go into the world of video editing. I just want to give you a quick look at RE Central and how it actually works. So basically, we're ready to go. Once you're happy with your settings, that's a one-time only setup. You can come back to that and it will be there. I've just saved mine as console recording, and you can click save and away you go. So in essence, we are ready to go. So we'll hit ready. The great thing about this program is we can maximize that. So if you're playing it on a computer monitor, or if you're fortunate enough like me to be playing it on a TV, you can actually hit your maximize button and you can play it in full screen. And then you can commence and stop your video recording with your hotkeys on your keyboard. And that's it. You just chat away, you play your game, you do your commentary, and then you hit your hotkey to stop recording, and that will give you your 1080p H.264 raw video file, and it will also give you a really nice MP3 high quality audio, depending on your microphone input or headset. But again, it's great that these are separate, because that way you can play around with your audio on your commentary just to make sure it matches up with your video. Sometimes videos record quieter, sometimes audio records louder, but at least you have that option to balance that once you get into your editing, which we'll be looking at next. Guys, we're at the last step. I've just had a bit of a play around with Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare on the PS3, and I've recorded it using RE Central just with my hotkeys. So I was able to record a bit of video and also some audio just to show you how to sync that up. Now, in order to marry these together, we need a video editing program, and I actually use Cyberlink PowerDirector version 11. So I'll open that up. Now, in my previous video, I was fortunate enough to have PowerDirector 10 pre-installed on my system. I shelled out a bit of extra cash and got PowerDirector 11 just because of some additional functionality, and it is just slightly more stable in my opinion. So you can use any video editing program, by the way. I just prefer to use PowerDirector. So what we're going to do is open up our little section where our videos got recorded. Now, RE Central is by default puts everything in our videos folder. So here I have the MP4, which is recorded in 1080p, and above it I have the MP3, which is our audio commentary that I've recorded at the same time. So these will be the exact same length when we import them into our video editing software. So I've just minimized that, and I'm going to drag both of these across. So I'll drag the audio over, I'll drag the video over, and I'll minimize that back down because we don't need that anymore. So PowerDirector is laid out like most of the popular video editing software programs out there. Sony Vegas is one off the top of my head. Even Windows Movie Maker is laid out similarly to this. But that's not the point. What we're here to do is to sync up some audio to our video and encode it in a high quality file format. So you can see down there we've got our video down there. Next up, I'm going to drag our audio down into the audio section. Now, I'm not going to hit play here because I've got Camtasia recording this in the background, so it might be a little bit top heavy with resources on my computer. But here, You can move your volume up and down if the voice is a little bit too loud over the game. All this is stuff that you'll have to play around with and get your perfect microphone levels and so forth. So the point of this little step is just to show you that your audio commentary is exactly lined up with your video recording. That's exactly what we want. Final step is producing. Now we want to get a really nice looking HD video up there. This is quite short, it's 1:13, so I'll be able to encode that fairly quickly. Now there's two ways you can go. There's a lot of, not so much controversy, but opinions from different people. I personally like MPEG-4, and I can drop it down here. These are your quality preferences. So you can go, that's 1080p at 13 megs a second. As you'll probably recall, in RE Central, they were your video sizes that we're recording in. So that will give you a nice 1080p quality right there at 13 megs a second. So I'm going to start that. And what I'll do, just while this is encoding, because it won't actually take too much longer, during the video I've just showed you the character jumping, and I say the word jump and the words left and right just to show you that the sync sort of lines up. So what I'm actually going to do is include this little video at the end of this tutorial just so you can see just how easy it is. Hey guys, here is my video. I'm just playing some Red Dead Redemption just to show you how easy it is to have your voice sync up with your gameplay. So you can see straight away that visually we're looking at this in 1080p, so it's looking great. So just to give you a brief idea here, we'll jump, aim, move left, move right, and let go. So you can see that the voice sync is pretty much, well, it's on the money. It's recording the video at the same time it's recording the audio, so it's not going to miss anything. Alright, so I'll stop that video there. This is just a brief example anyway. And yeah, so hopefully you'll find this tutorial easy. Any questions or queries, shoot me a comment, send me an email, and if you found this useful, definitely subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and as I sort of refine methods, I'll definitely be posting them up. Thanks again, bye.